Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the CamijoKnit Podcast. Today it is Thursday, it's August 28th, and it's a beautiful sunny day here in Denmark. I can tell that I can tell that fall is just around the corner. In the mornings, the smell of fall is there. It's cool and lovely, and then during the day, summer kind of takes over. So in my opinion, we are in the perfect combo of summer and fall. I really love that the season, and especially the first part of fall I love the most, because you still have the sun, a little bit of the warmth, and then at least in Denmark when November hits, it's just awful. It's raining, it's cold, it's foggy, it's gray, it gets dark really early, like in around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. It's completely dark here. So November is pretty awful. Then December hits, and that's my month, and I'm happy again. So yeah, fall is here, and I have made myself a cup of coffee. I hope you have something nice to drink as well. I should have definitely chosen something a little bit cooler, but I just didn't have enough coffee this morning, so I'll have another mug. So I hope that you're comfortable, that you have something nice to work on, something to knit or crochet or whatever you're doing, maybe just putting your feet up and resting for a little bit. And I will try my best to entertain you for about 30 or 40 minutes. We will see. But welcome to the channel. First, I will apologize for being a week late. It is definitely always my goal to podcast every other Friday. But these last 2 weekends have just been crazy. 2 weeks ago, I went to the Fiberfolk festival in Roskilde, which is one of the bigger Danish yarn events, and it's a very good one. It's one of my favorite ones to attend to, and it was such a blast. It's always such a blast to go to these events, but this one was particularly fun. I had Esther with me, my youngest daughter Esther. She's 19. She was there with me for the whole weekend. She was there to help me, of course. I cannot look after my little booth by myself. Of course, I have Tina, but she also has to take care of her own booth. So Esther was there, and she was kind of like my little cashier. So she had a little, we built a little stand for her to have an iPad, and she could do all the payments. And I would just kind of put her in different knitwear, and she could showcase all my pieces, or some of them at least. And that was so special and so fun for me to have her there with me. And yeah, we had a great weekend. And then the weekend after that, I had a dyeing class all day Saturday, and I had plans all Sunday. So there was just no gap for me to actually sit down and have time to record, but also edit. Recording is one thing, editing is another thing. Editing is always way more, it takes way more time. So that is why I'm a week late. I will be on time the next time. And then after that, Lars and I are going to Texas, and I'll do a whole Camijo Goes to Texas vlog. I cannot wait for that trip. That's going to be so much fun. Anyway, what has been going on here in the CamijoKnit headquarters? Several things. I have not had that much knitting time, so I am so sad to admit that I have not completed my Chirro sweater yet. But I did start the sleeve, and that actually took me some time, because I really wanted to have the right circumference for the sleeve, obviously, and I was just so indecisive whether I wanted to be fitted or more loose, and I picked up actually more stitches than I thought I would need, but now that I have tried it on, I think it's just perfect. So this is my version of the Chirro sweater, and I'll show you my aunt's original version, which is this. And I think that is just the way they knit back in the days. They would just do the front and then the back, and then they would sew these together and then pick up sleeves. But I actually like this one. It's a little oversized for me, and it's actually perfect for, I think Lars would actually fit this perfectly. So it has this kind of masculine, or at least unisex look to it that I really like. I love that the patterns can go either way. The sleeves are long and they are wide. but still comfy. So what I'm knitting is a size smaller than this. So I would say this would be like an extra large, maybe an extra large, depending on the sex. But yeah, this was my inspiration for the knit, and I can just try this one on, so you can tell this is definitely a size smaller, but it is more fitted now because it hasn't been washed and blocked yet, obviously. And once I get stitches picked up for the neckline, this will all look nicer. And the sleeve will be wider, a little bit wider than what it is now, but it has I think the perfect amount of room so that the sleeve and the body have kind of the same fit. Once I wash and block the whole thing, I'm sure this will be just perfect. I am so in love with the colors. I don't think I will be releasing this pattern until next spring, mainly because of my color choice. If I do, I think I will have another version knit up in darker colors. And I actually think that's the fun part about doing this type of stripy work. First of all, I love stripes. And I love that we can use some of all our minis for other stuff than socks and blankets. I chose 3 different colors for mine, but you can definitely go with more than that. Use your scraps, whatever you have left over. But I think that I will have this finished this week. This weekend I have no plans except just sit and watch Lover's Blind or something mindless and knit. I finished all 4 seasons of Clarkson's Farm, and I hope they do a season 5. So if you have anything you would recommend for me to watch while I'm knitting, please do so. I really could use another really good show I just finished, and Just Like That. And it's so funny with some of these shows. I will return to knitting in just a second. But that, for example, with And Just Like That, which is the Sex and the City show, actually started when I was in my 20s. So I feel like I'm growing up with them, and now they're in their 50s, and I'm not yet in my 50s, but close. So it's just so funny. And the same thing with Grey's Anatomy, that show is still going. And yeah, so growing up with the show is pretty something else. That's just, yeah, fun. Anyway, if you have something great that you just finished or that you're watching, please let me know. I am also working on my bubble shawl. I have a basket full of stuff to talk to you about today. And my yarn is stuck. Oh, so doing little progress on my bubble shawl. I just sent this to my knitting angel. Jette, I sent her the pattern before I even finished knitting the prototype myself. I sent the pattern to Jette and a skein of yarn, and she finished it already because she's the fastest knitter on the planet, and she finished it already. And it's supposed to be in my mailbox today, but I just couldn't wait to podcast, so you have to see that the next time. And then that pattern can be released, anticipating really soon. Well, at least as soon as I knit my own sample of that pattern. It is knit in my Messiah base, which is merino silk and yak, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. And it has a little bit more yardage to it because it's a heavier skein. It's 120 grams, so you get a little bit more yardage, which is just perfect when you need to do like a 1 skein wonder shawl. And I'm crazy about these bubbles. I think they're just adorable. And even on the back, they look good. They look just like a Belgian waffle or something. So I'm still working on this, and I can tell just by holding it, I wanna knit on it because it's just so soft and nice, and the needles are tiny. Not that tiny. It's a 3.5, which is a US. US 4. So that are actually those 2 projects are my only projects that I have on my needle that I'm actively working on. Can you say that? But then, of course, Esther always has design ideas, and she said, I want a really thick sweater. You should design a really, really thick sweater. I'm like, okay, we could do the mega mohair, which is this mohair that I have designed several sweaters, like my mega striped sweater, my mega slip over, and also the mega diamond cardigan. Also Candy Cloud is perfect for this yarn. Anyway, so that's 4 designs so far. Esther wanted a sweater, like a raglan sweater, top down, nothing fancy. And I said, yes, we can do them in the mega mohair. And she's like, yes, definitely. And then I did a little swatch. This is my new brown colorway. I will return to talking about that a little bit. I did this little swatch, and Esther's like, no, it's not thick enough. I want it to be even chunkier. So I added a strand of fingering weight yarn, and she's like, no, it's still not chunky enough. I'm like, are you nuts? So now I'm working on 2 strands of mega mohair on a 10mm needle, which is a US 15, and that is not way too chunky, but it's very chunky. But Esther thinks it's perfect. So yeah, so I think this will be, I'm sorry about the noise with these metal needles, it just makes so much noise. So I think she's satisfied with this, and I'm thinking, I haven't even measured the gauge, and I think we're around 8 stitches or something. So that's going to be fun. Esther always wants me to work on new designs, and she has so many ideas, and it's always very much fun. But I also have other projects to finish and other patterns to write, and at the same time I'm actually going through my old patterns slowly, but going back and see if I can remake some of the earlier patterns to make them, adjust them a little bit more and make them better. Yeah, that also takes time. Everything takes time. I'm so happy that we have hired Nina at the shop so she can help us out. She is just yeah, I don't know what we would do without her, actually, now that we have her, and now that she has found her place at the workshop, and not the workshop, but at the dye studio and at the office and at our showroom. She has so many different tasks. And what we really need, both Tina and I, was for someone to kind of solve issues before they became an issue. And of course, a person like that doesn't exist from day one. They need to kind of know the place, and now Nina's been with us since February, I think so. And now that she knows the place, she's just so good. She will organize stuff, and she will ask us before we know it's a thing what we're going to do with this and that. So we're just very happy that she wants to work for us. Anyway, I have another thing that I just want to share, because in the last episode we talked about I talked about the crochet shawl that we have out for testing, and it is being tested at the moment. I have some of the yarn, or some of the testers in the US. So before that yarn actually arrives to the US and the project is complete, it's going to take some time. But I just wanted to show you something that I thought was a little bit fun, that you don't have to crochet that shawl in that exact yarn. You can choose whatever yarn you want and play a little with bases and hook sizes and stuff. And my friend Malene, that actually designed the shawl, I gave her a few skeins of my Alpaca boucle yarn, and she crocheted this on a bigger needle, a bigger hook size. And I don't know how big she made it, I don't remember that, but I just think that it's so fun. It's a different look, but I still just think this is so cute. So, and it's so soft, that boucle is so soft. I will weigh this and put down in the show notes how much yarn she used for this, because I think maybe only 2 skeins. I don't know, but I can let you know. Am I knitting on anything else? No, I'm not knitting on anything else, but I just caked up my Father's Day colorway because I felt bad doing a Father's Day colorway and then not knit a pair of socks for my own dad. He loves home knitted socks and he will ask me over and over if I will knit him another pair, and it just takes time to knit a pair of socks, and I'm so busy knitting for designing and stuff, so I have only knit him one pair. So I thought that this Father's Day sock set is it's just meant to be. So I have to cast on and knit my dad a pair of socks. His birthday is in November, so I think I'll have time. I need to finish them by then, and that's it. I do have one finished object, but it is not my own yarn. It is definitely not my own design, but I am completely in love with this. Let me show you something really funny. How cute is this gobble? It's like a jellyfish, and I have what are they called? Angel lights inside. This is a design by a Danish, I would call her an artist more than knitter. Her brand is called Liebe KBH, which is short for Copenhagen in Danish. And I got this at the Fiberfolk festival in Roskilde last weekend. I've seen these before and I have always been so intrigued by them, and I have always wanted to make one. And yeah, I bought one and it took me like 5 minutes or something. You just knit this little piece like a hat and that's it. Then you cut all these tentacles. Tentacles? I don't know what they're called. Put in a little light thing and then you're good to go. Tina and I are gonna have this in the showroom, and I'll take it back down there. I just needed to show you how funny this is. I will link to her name down below so you can find her website and check out this jellyfish art that she does. That is so cute. Yes, so Esther wanted me to do this new sweater in the mega mohair, and she wanted it to be dark brown. And I can tell that no matter where I shop or look for clothes these days, brown just seems to be the new color. Of course, I knew that it would be. I just think over the summer, I forgot about it. Before the summer, in the winter time, I did this whole brown dyeing experiment where I put out 5 new colors inspired by the Mocha Mousse, which is the color of the year according to Pantone. And the Mocha Mousse is like a soft brown. And I did those 5 colors, and some of them sold out quickly, and I only did 5 of each, so many of them I just have 1 skein left or a few skeins left. But I wanted to do like a deep cold brown, and I wanted to perfect it so that I had that one deep brown color that was my go-to brown, so that I have like a few brown colors that I can return to all the time. And I was just really looking for that cold brown. This was my attempt number 1, and I think it's beautiful, but it's just not dark enough, and it's not cold enough. You can tell it has kind of a red tone to it, and I wanted it to be more cold. Then I dyed this mega mohair, and we're very close now, but you can see that it has kind of a purple undertone to it. Not everywhere, and maybe this light doesn't do it justice, but sometimes it helps when you have to. But it kind of has that purple undertone to it, even though I did do a green afterbath. So I'm still perfecting. And I did experiment yesterday with 4 new brown combos to do the perfect brown. So I'm not totally sure if this will just be what it looks like on the mega mohair. I haven't decided yet. Because sometimes the dye will, the bases will take the dye differently. So what looks really, really good on my single merino will look different on my silk mohair, because the silk will take the dye one way and the mohair will take the dye another way. The mohair will take the dye much faster than the silk. So depending on what pigment will be eaten first by the fibers, they strike differently and color strike in a different speed. So it can be pretty difficult to have the same bases be the different bases be the exact same color. That is why sometimes people will say, is this the same color? And yes, it's the same dye bath, but it's not necessarily the same color when you look at them. But that has been my way to do my system. Instead of having different recipes for the same color results, I have the same dye bath and the same name, but the result might be different. You understand? Yeah, but I'm still looking for the perfect brown, and I have, as I said, in the dye baths at the shop, they are still in the dye baths. Some of them, and some of them are drying. I might take you with me when I go to work a little bit later, and I can show you some of the browns. If I don't have time for that, you will just see that in the next episode. That's a little cliffhanger, a tiny cliffhanger. But what I can share with you that I have in my basket is I did my first yarn dyeing class or yarn dyeing workshop. It was so much fun. I was dreading it a little bit. I'm not dreading it, but I have had many people ask me if I would do one. And I felt like I was still pretty new in this hand dyeing industry or business, that I thought I really want to be more experienced before I try to teach anyone how to dye yarn. But then I also thought, well, this is not actually about teaching people how to be a yarn dyer. It's more teaching them to dye the yarn that they want. And I definitely can do that. So I'm not educating people to be yarn dyers. I'm helping people achieve the goals they have for the yarn that they bought. So I can help you dye yarn, and more than just educating you into becoming a yarn dyer. That is not the point of the class. But it was so much fun. Of course, I teach the different techniques and how the fibers act, and we talk a little bit about chemistry and stuff. So it's not that you don't get any knowledge. Of course you do. You need knowledge to be able to dye the yarn that you want. And it was so much fun. I had 5 lovely women there, and the spirit was good, and everyone was having so much fun, and it's just so rewarding to watch people fall in love with something you love as well. And they were so focused and concentrated and respectful in my studio, and they would do the dishes all the time. So whenever they used a little can or a spoon or a little what are they called? Those little never mind, don't remember what they're called in English. But they would strainers. Anyway, they would clean up after themselves all the time and be so nice and warm, and it was such a fun day, and I will definitely be doing that again. And of course, being a teacher, I can use my teaching skills, so that side of it is just easy for me. But it was also just fun to experience. Then teaching something new, a completely new class, was also very much fun for me, and I had such a good day. So I'll be doing that again. So keep your eye out for new dates. And I also had like a little knitting group contact me at the knitting festival saying, we're just a little local knitting group. Can we come as a group? And I'm like, yes, definitely. Just let me know. So I'll just encourage you, if you're a little knitting group in the area and you want to make sure that you have the space to yourself with just me, just send me an email and we'll work something out. That's not a problem. Anyway, what happens when you have knitting class? No, not what happened during this yarn dyeing class this last Saturday was that I get inspired as well. So I was, it's fun to see what kind of colors that my students kind of went for, or what they were interested in. And we did some experimenting. I was teaching them how to speckle yarn, and I would just let them choose the colors randomly. And we made this, or they made, they picked the colors, and now it looks like this. And I will put on these online. I have not named them, so they'll just be die of the day something. But this is one, and because we used a green that I don't usually use, I was so inspired that I did 2 skeins of this lovely dark green that I think I might do this as a solid color in my shop. I think it's the green that I love the most. I love it when greens turn towards the yellow side more than towards the blue side. And I think this is just gorgeous. And then they played around with this colorway, and I thought that was fun. And then, so these 2, or actually these 3, are just me experimenting after the class was over. But just because they had used some dyes that I just don't usually use. And it was just fun to play around with. I'm especially in love with this, which turns out kind of a moody rose color. And this one is definitely staying. This is my absolute favorite, one of my absolute favorite colors in the whole world, like a warm, dusty rose. I can't even. So that is what happens when you have people in your dye studio and they play around with colors that you usually don't play around with, and something fun happens, and I get inspired as well. So this was some of the stuff that came out of that day. And then one of the hold on, I have to turn off my jellyfish over here. One of the ladies, Trine, she was playing around with some colors, and I was like, that looks fun. So inspired by her, she was playing around with some pink and some neon purples. And inspired by that, I did these minis, and I just added some black. So it's not exactly the same, but just the inspiration of that pale pink and neon purple I thought was so much fun. So these will be in the shop as well. And I think I'll just call them Fantastic because it rhymes with plastic. And I think they look a little Barbie artificial in a way. So it's a mini single Fantastic. And all the other ones here, I will put these online as well. There are 2 in the green color, and the 2 of them are merino singles, 366, and these are the merino socks. And I think I will put them online today. And this one, I'm not sure I'll be putting this in the shop because I might just design it as a sweater, and if she wants 2 strands of Make More Hair, I don't know how much I'll have left of this, but I will definitely be dyeing Make More Hair in whatever brown colorway I end up with. Once I get the perfect recipe for the perfect brown, I will be dyeing some of the Make More Hair as well. I have in my dye bath at the studio my Messiah base, which was the base that I'm also working my bubble shawl in, the merino silk yak. And 1 strand of silk mohair. I want to combine those 2 to make myself a new Nana sweater. It's not a sweater, it's a cardi. But the Nana cardigan is actually something I designed a long time ago, before I even dyed yarn. And this one is knit in Madeline Tush DK. And it's a little oversized for me, but now, but I just want this in a luxury base, like the Messiah and the silk mohair and a dark chocolatey brown color and smaller so it fits me, and have that be my go-to cardigan for the fall, and get out of this cold gray and into something warm and brown. And I cannot wait for that project. It's going to be amazing. And then another project that I just cannot wait to cast on is, for a long time, this has been a plan of mine. And surely, very soon, it will happen. But I have the Big Bubble sweater. I actually have an old version of it here. You can tell this is old and it's been hanging on a hanger for a million years, so the bubbles are almost gone. But when we hired Nina at the studio, or at the place where Tina and I work, she said, "Why don't you have any yarn for the Big Bubble sweater?" And I just did not have a clever answer to that question. So I said, well, I do have the chunky base. It's actually perfect for the big bubble sweater. I just do not have dyed any amount that's big enough for an entire sweater. I only dyed like 4 or 5 skeins of each color because I just wanted to try out how people would react, or how people would receive that base. And but she was right. If I do not dye like a minimum of 10 skeins, no one can knit the Big Bubble sweater. And I want to knit the Big Bubble sweater in the chunky base. And my first idea was to do it in my pink lemonade colorway, just to have something fun to show when we go to events. But I actually already have knitted piece, my Banyol sweater, I knit in that same colorway. So I wanted to do something new. So Tennessee Warbler, which has been a colorway that I've had since almost the beginning, that I love, or the Petals colorway, which is soft lilac with orange speckles. They are similar actually, right? So purple version or gray version. What do you think? I can't wait to cast on, especially because I know it's going to be so fast. And that's all for knitting. My advents are still available. I think I have around 20 left. So that's good. They will definitely sell out before December. So if you are still interested in getting one of those, you should not wait. Right now, the Danish Postal Service is taking a break when it comes to shipping to the States because of the whole tariff stuff. And it is just a shorter break, so I'm not concerned at all about the advents will be shipping in time for Christmas. I'm sure they will have that all solved before that happens. But there is a shipping break right now that I hope will only be temporary, or I know it will only be temporary. That is what they said. They sent us a mail, said we are expecting to be back in business really soon. We just need to get this whole stuff worked out within the system. So I'm not too worried about that. I have a big sale right now on my web shop. So if you go to my web shop, at the top, you go for the little sale. There is loads of great deals there. It's mainly because I just want to tidy up. No. I want to make room for new colors. And after Fiberfolk, there's just some of the colors that I bring back and forth a lot, and I want to get rid of them, and I want to have room for new colors and new inspiration, and not just have the same colors over and over and over. So we're saying goodbye to some of these colorways, and there's also a few bases that maybe there was just one skein left or a few skeins left, and they're going out as well. I have 40% off all my DK weight minis because they're leaving. I think I might have some that are undyed. I will have to go through that today and make sure I get those dyed so they can all leave. And on that note, if there is anything particular in my CamijoKnit base that you think that I need, if there's a colorway that you think, well, I need a very lovely dusty turquoise, or why don't you have any in this kind of, just let me know. I'm not going to promise you that I will dye it, but I will definitely take a look. And I have said that before, but please don't just say blue. I need something more specific. Blue like what? Like a specific fish or something else. Just give me something like carrot, orange, or yeah. If it's a green, is it avocado green, or more like grass green, or lizard green, or whatever. Or if you want more speckled or variegated or whatever. If you have something that you think you miss, let me know, and I will look into it. Is that all for today, guys? I have a list. Let me see if I got everything. I think I got everything. I will say goodbye for now. And thank you for spending another 30 minutes or so with me here at the CamijoKnit Podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, please like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. But more importantly, give me a comment. Having comments from you out there is just the best. So let me know what you're working on, or what the weather is like where you are now. Can you sense the vibe of fall around the corner? I'm enjoying it because, as I said, in 3 weeks we're going to Texas, and it's supposed to be very hot and very humid there. So if you have any ideas on what to wear in Houston, because I'm thinking that air conditioning in the States is pretty wild when you go like in the mall and the cinema or in the car or whatever, in the stores, and outside very warm. So if you have any yarn stores or anything like that I should visit in Houston, or anything else in Houston you think I should do, let me know. We're also spending a few days in Miami, but I don't think we'll have time to do much except just hang around with friends. We are joining them at their house in Naples. We are landing in Miami, and we're staying there for a couple of days, and then we are leaving for Naples with our friends and just hanging out there with them for the weekend before we head to Houston on Sunday. So very exciting. But I will see you for a regular episode before we go. So I'll talk to you before then. Until then, guys, take care, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you